Since October, FBI Director Christopher Wray has appeared before Congress 8 times. On every occasion, he raised alarms over the ongoing threats facing the United States. He did so again earlier this month.
We've seen the threat from foreign terrorists rise to a whole nother level after October 7th. We continue to see the cartels push fentanyl and other dangerous drugs. China continues its relentless efforts to steal our intellectual property and most valuable information. And that's just scratching the surface.
My next guest underscores Wray's concerns in a piece for Foreign Affairs. Quote, in the piece, he says the United States faces a serious threat of a terrorist attack in the months ahead. Former CIA acting director and CBS News and senior national security contributor Michael Morrel joins me now. Mike, thanks a lot for being with us. Let's just give me your assessment of the whole threat landscape right now.
When you dissect, John, Director Wray's comments over those 8 testimonies, what you see is that the threat falls into 3 categories. The first category are lone wolves already here in the United States, right? American citizens who foreign terrorists might be able to radicalize and to encourage, just through their social media posts and the like, videos where they can radicalize somebody and encourage a lone wolf attack. That's one category. The second category are actually foreign terrorist organizations like ISIS-K, which is the ISIS group in Afghanistan, actually sending operatives to the United States to conduct an attack here the way Al-Qaeda did on 9/11. That's the second category. And then the third category that Director Wray has talked about are nation states, in particular Iran, who have tried to send people here to assassinate a former Trump administration official to get even, right, with our assassination, our killing of Qasem Soleimani, a senior Iranian official, several years ago.
Now, Mike, your assessment of whether intelligence officials and national security officials up and down the line are on the case, recognize these 3 groups and are doing the most they can to address each one of them.
So my assessment is yes, John, but don't forget that the threat from terrorism is competing with some other very significant national security priorities, right? The war in Gaza and how to prevent it from spreading more widely in the Middle East, the war in Ukraine and Ukraine's ability to defend itself against, the Russian threat. And then third is China, right, and our long-term competition with China. And all of that, right, is occurring within the context of political debates about the border and what to do about it, and a very hotly contested election.
So that leads me to my next question, which is, with all of that going on, do you think that all of those countries and actors that you mentioned seek to take advantage of a busy national security apparatus? I mean, do you think they see a moment of opportunity because the plate is so full?
So I don't think so, because terrorist groups have never before tried to impact the outcome of an election. The attack in Madrid a number of years ago, 20-some years ago, did, but that was by a local group, and it was not by a large organization. They go when they're operationally ready. And what's happened in particular with ISIS-K is they have grown in capability. They've successfully conducted attacks in Iran and Moscow. They failed on some attacks in Europe. It looks like they're trying to send people here now. They will go when they're ready, irregardless of our election timetable.
And finally, on that question of the election, one's coming up. What question should we be asking of the candidates, whoever's going to be the next president, to test whether they see things as clearly as you have outlined them?
How do you defend the United States from terrorist organizations who are trying to send people here, in particular through the southern border, which they've now discovered is a vulnerability? And then second is, how do you take the fight to the terrorists so that you degrade them where they are? And how do you, in particular, do that in a place like Afghanistan when we're not there anymore?
Mike Morrel, thanks as always, Mike.
Good to be with you, John, always.